I, in effect, grew up with Las Vegas. My parents moved here when I don't even think I was in kindergarten yet. And so there was 8,000 people in Las Vegas when they came here. And I went to Fifth Street Grammar School. I went to Las Vegas High School, which was the only high school. Some of my classmates were people like Richard Bryan and Sig Rogich and some of those folks. And I graduated and went to the University of Nevada, Reno. I went to Reno on a Harold's Club scholarship. Harold's Club was a Reno gaming establishment, and Raymond I. Smith owned it, and he apparently was sorry his mother never got to college, so he started giving scholarships to every high school in the state of Nevada. He gave one scholarship each graduation. So and it paid for your entire college education. So that's how I did that. And then I was, I don't know if you can be disappointed and happy in getting a scholarship, but I was sort of disappointed in a way. And the reason was I had intended to go to the University of California, Berkeley, and major in law. And I couldn't very well picture myself saying, Daddy, I don't want the scholarship. So I, of course, took the scholarship, went to Reno, and they had two schools that had a fairly good reputation nationally. One was journalism, and one was mining. Oh, I like rocks, and I like words. So I took a geology class, and it was my freshman year, and we were out in the hills, and you know, there's a lot of sagebrush, and I guess I hadn't smelled sagebrush before. And so I said, what's that funny smell? And the professor said, it's fresh air, Miss Borders. And I thought, I think I'll major in journalism. And so I majored in journalism, and my professor was Higginbotham. And Higginbotham wasn't too sure he wanted women in his classes, because the way a journalism school was measured in those days nationally was how many of your graduates are working in the field. And of course, he had the stereotype that all these women graduates, if he had too many, were going to get married, get pregnant, and not work in the field. So he didn't really encourage women students. He was a good professor, and I'm glad I stuck in there, and I think he was glad eventually, but he was very suspicious to begin with. And one of the benefactors of the UNR School of Journalism was the Scripps family, Scripps Hard Newspapers. And Ted Scripps was one of those people, and he went to the University of Nevada, Reno. And so I thought, well, I think I'd like to work for a wire service when I graduate, rather than a newspaper and get stuck on Society or whatever, because wire services didn't have a Society column. So I managed through a little, meet and greet and this and that to get on with United Press in Reno. But in those years, I don't know if they still do it, but you had to intern with some professional office in order to get out. You interned for a year. So I interned for United Press International. At the time, it was United Press. And then when I got out of college, then I had a job. And I worked in Reno, transferred to San Diego, transferred to Los Angeles, transferred to Las Vegas.